Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are cracking the code on how to make your language more vivid, more memorable, and way, way more powerful. We're going to build your personal writer's toolbox. Just look at the difference here. The room was messy. Yeah, it states a fact. It's fine. But her room was a battlefield. Whoa. That tells a story, doesn't it? You can practically see the chaos, the struggle, the epic clutter. That right there is the power we're tapping into today. So here's our game plan. We're going to cover everything from simple comparisons to the music of language, and then we'll pack all these awesome new tools right into your writer's toolbox. Okay, let's get into it. First up, comparison. We're starting with the absolute basics, the two most essential tools for painting pictures with your words, the simile and the metaphor. So let's start with the simile. Its whole job is to help your audience get this crystal clear picture in their heads by connecting two totally different things that happen to share a similar quality. And the magic words, always like or as.
You've heard these a million times, right? And there's a reason for that. They just work. They tap into these common ideas we all share to make descriptions instantly pop. We all know what a busy bee looks like, so that comparison is immediate and honestly, pretty effective.
All right, time for a little pop quiz to make sure you're with me. What figure of speech is going on in this classic, super romantic line? Think about those key words we just talked about.
Yes, you got it. If you spotted that little word like, you absolutely nailed it. It's a direct comparison between love and a red rose, and it brings all those feelings of beauty and passion along with it. A perfect simile. Okay, now let's meet the simile's bolder, more direct cousin, the metaphor. This one doesn't even bother with like or as, it just goes for it, creating this really strong, powerful link by saying one thing is another thing, flat out. And what's so cool about these is how they pack a whole world of meaning into just a few words. A heart of gold isn't just kind, it's also precious, rare, valuable. Calling an interview a battlefield doesn't just mean it's stressful, it implies strategy, conflict, a winner, and a loser. You see, metaphors are like shortcuts to really deep meaning. And this table just breaks it down perfectly. This is the key difference. A simile says Susan ran like a cheetah. It's a comparison. But a metaphor? It says Susan was a cheetah. That's not a comparison, that's an identity. It's a tiny change in words, but a huge change in impact. All right, next up, let's look at what I like to call the animation tools. These are techniques for literally breathing life and emotion into things that don't have any, making them feel way more real and relatable. And the main tool for this is personification. This one is just fantastic for helping your audience connect with all the non-human stuff in your story. You give an object a human feeling or action, and boom, it's suddenly a character in the scene. I mean, we all know flowers can't literally put on dancing shoes, right? But this simple use of personification creates such a vivid, beautiful image. It's so much better than just saying, the flowers moved in the wind. And then you've got apostrophe. You can think of this one as personification's super dramatic cousin. Instead of just describing something with human qualities, with apostrophe, you're actually talking to something that can't possibly talk back. You know this one, right? This classic nursery rhyme is the perfect example. The singer is speaking directly to a star, an object millions of miles away. That direct address, that's the heart and soul of apostrophe. It creates this amazing sense of intimacy and wonder. Okay, so we've given things a personality. Now let's figure out how to give our language a beat. We're opening up the musical part of our toolbox now, focusing less on what words mean and more on how they actually sound. First up is alliteration. It's a really simple, but man, it's an incredibly powerful tool for making your phrases catchy and musical. It gives your language a certain rhythm, which is why you see it everywhere, from poetry to brand names to, well, tongue twisters. Come on, you know this one. This classic tongue twister is alliteration on full display. That repeating P sound just creates this fun, bouncy rhythm that's really hard to forget, and even harder to say 5 times fast. Go on, try it. So what's the difference here? It's all about where the sound repeats. Alliteration, that's the consonant sound at the start of the words, like that F in fair is foul. But its cousin, assonance, does the same kind of musical trick by repeating vowel sounds inside the words, like that short S sound and mellow wedding bells. Pretty cool, huh?
And now for our final set of tools. These are the special effects. The things you pull out when you really want to add some drama, some wit, or just make a point that no one's going to forget. We're going to run through 3 of them real quick.
These 3 are all about making a big impact. First, you've got hyperbole, total exaggeration for effect. We know you can't eat all the food, but it tells us you're starving. Then there's the oxymoron, where you smash 2 opposite ideas together, like sweet sorrow. It makes you stop and think, right? And finally, the good old pun, a clever play on words that can add some humor and show you've got a little wit. And there you have it. Just like that, we've filled up our toolbox with all these powerful devices to take your language from just okay to totally unforgettable.
So why does all this matter? Well, because using these tools isn't some kind of secret magic. It's actually a pretty simple process. You start with a plain idea, you decide what you want your audience to feel, whether it's imagery, sound, or drama. You pick the right tool for that job, and then you say it out loud to see if it works. That simple process can completely change how people hear what you have to say.
So here's the bottom line. Plain language is fine for stating facts, but figurative language, that's for telling a story. So the next time you write or speak, don't just inform people, captivate them. Tell them a story. What story are you going to tell?